Welcome back to my next playthrough series. This time it's going to be Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. So I've actually set the entire board up already, so I won't be going through the setup. It's basically the same type of setup as Pandemic. We have summoning cards here, and what you do is you draw 2 summoning cards and you put 3 cultists on each of the locations of the 2 cards. So I had 3 on the swamp, 3 on the junkyard. And then you draw 2 more cards, you put 2 on, so Great Hall down here. Anyway, it's all set up the way it's supposed to be. I will introduce you to I'm going to be playing with 2 characters. It's a 2 to 5 player game, so I'm going to be using 2. These are the cards, investigator cards that you're going to be pulling out. If this deck ever runs out and you need to draw cards, you'll lose the game. Lots of ways to lose the game. If Cthulhu comes out, he's the last old one here at the end. If this card gets flipped over, and there's many ways to flip them over, you lose the game. So it's basically a retheming of Pandemic, which has been out forever, which is a lot of people's favorite game ever. I don't mind Pandemic, but it's not my favorite game. I actually like this one a little bit better because of the Cthulhu theme. It's a little bit streamlined. There's a lot less locations. It's easier to move around. It's not quite as puzzly as the original Pandemic, and I guess Pandemic Legacy, which is way better, but I don't have that, have not played it, not sure if I ever will. Alright, I'm just going to quickly go over the actions you can take in the game. There are these little handy cards, and so the actions your investigator can take, and each one starts off with 4. The two characters I'm playing, I'll introduce you to them in a second. So you can walk, you can move from one adjacent location to the other, and they're connected by lines. You can take a bus. So you can discard a clue card. Oh, they're called clue cards, not investigation cards. Clue card at the bus station to move to any location in the town, or anywhere if the card matches your current town color. And there's 4 towns on the board, I should say. There's Arkham, Innsmouth, Kingsport, and Dunwich. And so the yellow, the green, the purple, and the red. And okay, use a gate. Move from one gate to another, and when you use a gate, you have to roll the sanity die. I'll explain that a little bit too as well. You can give or take 1 clue or relic card. Same location, only 1 clue card must match the current town. So yeah, if you're in Arkham, you can only exchange Arkham cards, and same with Innsmouth, Dunwich, and Kingsport. Defeat a cultist. So remove 1 cultist from your location. Costs 1 action, and it costs 3 actions to remove a Shoggoth. Or Shoggoth, or I call them Shoggoths, I don't know. Maybe I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. I'm Canadian, what do you expect? From a location, and when you do that, you get to gain a relic. Or you can try to seal a gate, and you discard 5 clues of the matching gate, and remove a cultist from each location in the town when you seal the gate. So the gate locations are down here at the graveyard. They have a little bit different symbol on them. Graveyard, we have, where is this one? The hospital in Innsmouth. We have down here at the park in Arkham, and over here at the old mill in Dunwich. So those are the actions you can take on your turn. And now we're going to look at sanity. What would a Cthulhu game be without sanity costs? So you have to roll the sanity die after you use the gate action, after you resolve the effect of a relic card. So when you use a relic card, when you enter a location with a Shoggoth, or a Shoggoth enters yours, or as the first step of the Evil Stirs card. So yes, there are Evil Stirs cards. They're like the epidemic cards in Pandemic. Going insane. You can go insane in this game. You flip your investigator card over. You now have 1 fewer action and modified abilities. So you have 4 sanity to start the game with. If you lose all 4 sanity, you basically go insane. You're not out of the game, but you have your abilities change and you have less actions. And you can become sane again by closing a gate. So this is what's on the die, and so this is the sanity die that comes with the game, really nice custom die, and these are the effects. So there's 2 blank sides, which is no effect. There's 2 that have lose 1 sanity, there's 1 side that has lose 2 sanity, and there's 1 side that has add 2 cultists to your current location, and here we go, regaining sanity. If insane, you can regain your full sanity when you seal a gate. You are then transported to the church or hospital, your choice. So that's, in a nutshell, sort of what you can do, and having to do with sanity. So in a moment, we will look at our 2 characters that we're going to play. And don't know if there's anything really too much more to explain. All the ways to lose. What would a co-op pandemic game be if there weren't a slew of ways to lose? So, here we go. Oh, and there's, of course, only one way to win. The one way to win is you need to seal all 4 gates. Simple, right? How do we lose? Well, lots of ways. Cthulhu awakens. You lose. Not enough cultists are left when needed. You lose. Not enough Shoggoths are left when needed. You lose. Not enough player cards are left when needed. You lose. Or all players go insane at the same time. You lose. So, 5 ways to lose, 1 way to win. Let's take a dive down and take a look at our 2 characters. Now, I just randomly chose them. There is a way you're supposed to choose characters in the game. You randomly take 2, and then of the 2 you pick 1, and then... Anyway, I didn't do it. I just shuffle them up, grab 2. These are the 2 I'm going to be playing. So let's take a look at them. They're starting cards, and I'll explain a little bit about relics, because one of the starting cards for one of our characters is a relic, and the other one drew a relic. Oh, I should say this deck, I'll explain that. Let me just go down to the characters, I'll explain the decks, the relics, and what have you, and then I think we're going to do a turn or 2. Alright, so here we have the Investigator deck, the Clue deck, and this is made up of basically 44 cards, and on a normal difficulty level you take out 1 card of each location. So you take out 1 Arkham, 1 Innsmouth, 1 Kingsport, 1 Dunwich, and when you play a 2-player game, you add 4 relics into this deck and randomly shuffle them up. There's also 4 Evil Stirs cards that are put in this deck, and what you do is you put this deck into 4 equal piles. You put 1 Evil Stirs card in each of the 4 separate piles, shuffle them up, and then you build the stack out of the 4 piles into 1. So you're not going to get 4 Evil Stirs cards coming up in the first 5 draws and then nothing the rest of the game. It tries to even it out throughout the game, and I apologize for glare. I do put card protectors on here. I just use the Ultra Pro penny sleeve card protectors, so I apologize for the glare. I don't know if I can stop it. Anyway, so what we have here is we have the Hunter. So let's take a look at the Hunter. This is one of our characters as I destroy my playing surface. The Hunter, and try not to get glare. 4 actions, as you can see in the upper right here, and the Hunter's special ability here is remove all cultists when doing the defeat a cultist action. So instead of just taking the 1 cultist off, she gets to remove all of them. And once per turn, you may defeat a Shoggoth for only 1 action. Normally it takes 3. Pretty awesome. And if she goes insane, of course you flip her over, but we'll deal with that when and if she goes nuts. So, and she has 4 sanity to start. And these are the 4 cards that she started with. Kingsport, Dunwich, and she drew a relic randomly at the start, and the relic she drew is the Song of Kadath, and it says no sanity roll required to play this card, because normally when you play a relic card, you have to roll a sanity die. Choose 1, all players regain 1 sanity token, or 1 player regains full sanity. So there you go. That's what she is going to start the game with, and maximum hand size is 7 cards. And in a 2-player game, you start with 4 cards. Now, the next player is the Magician, and he has 4 actions, and his special ability is you start the game with an unused relic. Your hand limit is 8 cards. So he starts with a relic right off the bat, and he gets to have 8 cards. So he gets 4 cards plus a relic, I believe. At any time you may do the give or take 1 relic card action for free, and of course he has an insane side as well. Now, before I get playing the game, I'm just going to double check the rules, because I did give him 5 cards. I gave him the 1 unused relic card and drew him 4 cards from this deck. But I'm just going to double check the rules on that, because he may only get the 1 relic and 3 cards from this deck. But if not, he has a Dunwich, a Kingsport, a Dunwich, and Innsmouth, and he has the Seal of Lang. This was the relic I drew off the rest of the relic deck. You may choose a revealed Infinity Old One and cancel the effect for the rest of the game. Cover that old one's effect with this card as a reminder. Some of the old ones, when they are revealed, have ongoing game effects, and that's going to allow us to cancel it. But of course, if you use a relic card, you have to roll a sanity die. So with all of that said, I will check that rule once again just to make sure that the Magician has the right number of cards, of course starting with 4 sanity as well. And then we're going to do one turn. We're probably just going to do one turn. So we're going to have either the magician or hunter go first, and then the next player will go. And that will be the end of this episode, because we're sort of introducing the game. And I think that will work. So let me just check that rule, and let's get doing our first turn of Cthulhu, or Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. All right, so I take a look at the back of the book, and I looked up the magician find point, so I'll just show it to you here. I believe this is how this is supposed to work. So the magician, sane side, and it says your hand limit is 8. You start the game by drawing a relic card from the relic pile. So how I read that is everyone starts with 4 cards drawn off this deck, which I've done, and then he starts the game by drawing a relic card off the relic deck. So we're going to have him go first. So let's say he drew that relic card right now. And I should mention that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think there's 11 old ones plus Cthulhu. So you get 12 of these cards. So you're only going to use 6 out here. The other 5 go back in the box. So it kind of randomizes the game a little bit, because you're not always sure which of the old gods are going to awaken and cause problems. The other thing in the game is there are a bunch of, you put 4 relics in this deck, and there are another 8 relics that don't go in the deck. So there's 7 left here, of course, because our magician player gets to pull one. So that's a deck that stays separate off the side of the board. If you kill one of these Shoggoths, you get to draw a relic card. All right, so everyone gets 4 actions. Oh, and of course, yes, order of play. I thought there was a nifty little card that told you the order of play. Oh, well, it's right here on the board, where, of course, you can't see it. Play. Do 4 actions. So we're starting with the magician. He can do 4 actions. Now, if we want to, for free, he could give that seal of laying to the hunter, because that's one of his special abilities. Anytime you can do the give or take 1 relic card action for free. Now, unfortunately, he has no Arkham cards, and he's in Arkham. So if he wanted to trade a card to our hunter player, that wouldn't work, because he doesn't have any cards to trade to her. Neither does she have any Arkham cards to give him. So it looks like we're going to be doing some walking, and I don't really know what I want to do with him. There's really not a lot going on in Arkham except the one Shoggoth here. Now, how Shoggoths work is when we draw summoning cards, which you'll see here happening very shortly, if it has a Shoggoth symbol on it, it's going to move to the closest gate. If it is on a gate and it gets the move symbol on a summoning card, it goes through the gate and one of the old ones awakens. So they start awakening left to right. And again, if we awaken Cthulhu, which is this card, we lose the game. Okay, enough babbling. Let's go on here. Here's our, oh, I should show you these miniatures. They're actually quite good miniatures from Z-Man Games. They're very functional, very nice. If you're into painting, I'll bet you these would paint up quite nicely. So, and there's a hunter again. I don't know how well that's focusing, but they're pretty nice miniatures, nicely done. Okay, magician gets 4 actions. What are we going to do? Well, I think, oh, and the other thing I should mention, when Shoggoths move into your space, you start taking sanity hits. I think I'm going to go 1, 2, so that's 2 actions. 3 is going to get rid of the cultist. Oh, and I should show you, this is how many cultists are left. If you ever have to pull cultists out, you lose, and there are only 3 Shoggoths in the game. If you have to pull a 4th one out, you lose the game. So that was 1, 2, and 3 to get rid of the cultist, and I think I might as well move 1 more space here, and we'll, maybe next time he can take out the Shoggoth. And that's the end of his do 4 actions. Next, draw 2 cards. So, off the top of this deck, he draws 2 cards. Wow, he gets another relic. He gets an Innsmouth card, and he gets another relic, Book of Shadow. Draw, look at, and rearrange the top 4 cards of the player deck. Put them back on top. So this is the player deck here. So he could use that if he wants to. So let's just quickly look at his cards. So he has a Book of Shadow. He has 2 Innsmouth cards, 2 Dunwich cards, a Kingsport, and Seal of Laying. So now he has 2, 4, 6. He has 7 cards. Of course, he can have a maximum of 8. And when you have a maximum of 8 cards in this game, if you have 9 cards in your hand, you can start spending relics. You don't have to immediately discard down to your 8 cards. You can spend relics until you get down to your cards. Or you can discard them as well. Your choice. That ends the magician's draw 2 cards. And now it is draw summoning cards. So let's zoom out a little bit, and the summoning cards are over here. And we draw 2 of them because if we look up here, the summoning rate is 2. And of course, as we have more old ones awaken, then the summoning rate's going to go to 3. And yeah, we get to Cthulhu, we lose the game. All right, let's go to the summoning deck and summon 2 cards. All right, summoning deck, 2 cards. First card we summon from the summoning deck is the Woods, and it does indeed look like the Shoggoth is going to move. So we're going to get 1 cultist appearing at the Woods. So let's do that, and the Woods is here. And the Shoggoth moves. It moves into a location with the Magician. What does that mean? It means when a Shogun, Shoggoth, however you say it, moves into a location with a character, they must roll the insanity die. And he rolls a blank, which means nothing happens. Whew, that was lucky. And we have a second summoning card. When this deck runs out, you reshuffle it if you ever get to the bottom. But of course, as a la Pandemic, when you get the evil stirs, you're going to take all your discards. They get shuffled, put back on the top. Very Pandemic-like. And we get 1 cultist appearing at the church, and we don't have the Shoggoth symbol, so the Shoggoth does not move. So we get a cultist appearing at the church. The church is right here. That, in a nutshell, is the Magician's turn. And so now we're going to be doing the Hunter's turn. So I'm just going to reposition the camera a little bit here, and we're going to have the Hunter take her turn. All right, so I think I know what we're going to do with the Hunter. The Hunter is at a bus station. This little carriage symbol here means it's a bus station. It's a train station, but you can also take the bus. There's another symbol here and here. And so we're going to take a bus action for her first of 4 actions. And so she's just going to use the Kingsport card, because you can use any one of your cards to move. And I think I have to use a Dunwich card because she's going to Dunwich. So we're going to use the Dunwich card because it's yellow, because we want her to go down here in Dunwich. So she's going to spend that. So that's our first discarded card here, which means she uses a bus action for 1 action, and she's going to move to the swamp. And there happens to be 3 little cultists here in the swamp. For her second action, and because it's her special ability, remove all cultists when doing the defeat a cultist action. So for her second action, she can remove all 3 cultists. She is badass. Second action, her third action, she's going to move 1 space over to the Great Hall. And for her fourth action, she's going to take both of the cultists from the Great Hall and smoke them. So very nicely done. And you can see how quick that was. That was her 4 actions. Next, she draws 2 cards off the top of the deck. And, yep, we get Evil Stir. She gets a Kingsport, and she gets Evil Stirs. So we have to do the Evil Stirs. That's bad. Fight the Madness. The first thing she must do is roll the Sanity die. So she rolls 1 symbol. She's going to lose 1 sanity. So she loses 1 sanity. She's down to 3. The next thing we do is Awakening. Reveal the next old one. So we're going to have the first of our old ones awakening, and we get Dagon. All right. Place 1 cultist on each gate location. Okay, that's not awful. That's not awful. So we can handle that. There's, of course, 4 gate locations on the board. 1 at the park. We have 1 at the old mill. We have 1 down here at the graveyard. And our 4th gate up here is at the hospital. And we're not done with the Evil Stirs card yet. A Shoggoth appears. Draw 1 card from the bottom of the summoning deck and put a Shoggoth on the location indicated. Oh, great. So we draw from the bottom of the summoning deck. And we're going to get a Shoggoth appearing at the old mill. And I think that's a bad location, because is that not a gate? Oh my god, it is a gate location. Yikes! That's bad. Very bad. All right. Wow, and this is this is just part of the Evil Stirs card. Uh-oh, this could be bad news. All right. And next is Cultist Regroup. Shuffle the summoning discard pile and put the cards on top of the summoning deck. Wow, that sucks. And of course the Evil Stirs card goes away. So we're going to take all of the discards and we're going to shuffle them. And then she's going to have to draw 2 of them. So, oh, man, not good. We're off to a poor start. I thought we were doing well. All right, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So those shuffle cards go on top of the summoning deck. Yikes. All right. That was the draw 2 player cards and resolve the Evil Stirs card. Wow. That was the first of 4 Evil Stirs cards, and it came not at a great time because it put a Shoggoth right on a gate. Bad news. Now it's draw 2 summoning cards. So once again, I'll reposition the camera a little bit. We'll draw 2 summoning cards for the Hunter, and that's going to be the end of the episode. Okay, let's get into drawing the 2 cards. Now let's hope there's no Shoggoth moves on these. Whew. First one, we dodged it. 1 cultist appears in the park. And the park is... Where is the park? The park is... Oh, green, isn't it? Yeah, the park is right here. So now there's 2 cultists in the park. And the second card, oh boy, we dodged the bullet. That one also does not have the Shoggoth symbol. So 1 cultist appears at the wharf. All right, and the wharf is here. So now there's 3 cultists at the wharf. That's not good, but we didn't have the Shoggoth's move. So we may be able to get rid of this one. Yeah, I think we might be able to get rid of it. The Hunter might be able to get rid of it. And I should say that each turn you can decide who goes first and second. It's not always in the same turn order that you have to play these things. And so, oh, the other thing I should mention is these relic cards. This is one of the Magician's relic cards. Can be played at any time. It doesn't have to be played on your turn. It can be played pretty much anywhere. The only time you can't play a relic card is when you are resolving an Evil Stirs card. When you resolve the Evil Stirs card, you have to do the entire thing. You cannot play a relic card in between steps on the Evil Stirs. And that's it. Whew, kind of long-winded. I don't know if we did well or not. I have no idea if we're going to win. But just to recap, so our Magician has 2 Innsmouth, 2 Dunwich, a Kingsport, and 2 relics. The end of this episode. And our Hunter has 2 Kingsports, a Dunwich, and the Song of Kadath, which helps get sanity back. And yeah, we've got a long ways to go, so I hope you're enjoying this. This is Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. I'm doing a 2-player game, so join me next time for the continuation of this. So thanks very much for watching along. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you do, I have lots of board game, card game, and dice game playthroughs up here with, of course, many more to come. And I also appreciate very much if you give me thumbs up. I really appreciate that, and all the help and suggestions and comments that we get here on my site as well is really much appreciated. So thanks so much for watching along. Join me next time for Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu.